Hello everyone, today we will learn about Boolean category message mapping functions. So let's get started. So as you can see, we have 10 different types of Boolean message mapping functions here. We will start with AND. So AND simply returns true value only if all provided inputs are true. Okay. So this requires two input here, and the input should be a Boolean category here. So what we can do is we can add two different types of conditions here in this input, and based on these conditions, if both are true, it will provide true. Both are false, it will provide false. In one of them is false, then also it will provide a false because it is an AND method. So let's say we provide equals number here. We need two inputs, so we will need two conditions here. Okay, constant because we need to compare it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another constant here. Let's take another field like customer ID here. This should also be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this customer ID and the order ID needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and these both conditions need to be true. And if both are true, it will simply provide a true value in the order ID section. So if we test it, if we provide here 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, test. As you can see, we have received true, but if one of the conditions fails like this, we will receive a false. If both the condition fails, again we will receive a false value. Yeah, like this. So this is how AND works. Now we will see OR. So OR returns true value if at least one of the input is true. Okay. The conditions will be the same. We will simply add branches here into the OR, and if we test it, 1, 2, 3, 4, any random number, this should give us true because one condition is 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Yes. If both the condition fails, then it should be false. Okay. So after OR we have not. So not simply returns the opposite of a Boolean function. So if the condition is true, we will receive a false value. Okay. So let's say we will consider only order ID this time. And if we simulate it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have received false because it is the opposite of true. But if we don't satisfy the condition and the condition doesn't met, then we will get a true. Yeah, like that. So this is how not works. After that we have equals. Okay. Now equals uh, checks if both the booleans value are equal. It is a little similar to AND function, but here uh, the difference is In and if both the conditions were false, then it will return false. But here, if both the conditions were false, it will return true because those conditions are equal, false and false, like that. So equal Boolean functions returns both condition, I mean Boolean value, if both the conditions are equal, if both the inputs of Boolean are equal. Okay, so true or true and true equals to true, false and false equals to true. Apart from that, everything is false, like that. So if we simulate it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is true, which is equal, okay, order ID and customer ID. So it should give us a true value here. Yeah. If we try to give a random number apart from 1, 2, 3, 4, and if the condition doesn't met on both the sides, then also it gives us true. Why? Because both the Boolean values are equal, false and false. And yes, it is equals that that's why we have received a true Boolean value here. Okay. If one of them is true, then we should receive a false value here. Yeah, like this. I hope you understood what I have tried to explain here. So after equals, we have not equals, which is simply opposite to the equals function, equals Boolean. If two Boolean values are not equal, then we will receive as true. If both are equal, then we will receive a false. Let's test it and see. Okay, we should receive false. Yeah, if we give like this, it should give us true. Yeah, correct. Because these are not equal, right? Both the conditions are not equal. This is something else, and this is equal, but this is not equal. So it's true. Yes, this is not equal. That's why we have received a true value. After not equals, we have if. Okay. Now, uh, it returns string, boolean, or number based on the condition. Okay. If the condition is true, then we will receive true value. If the condition is false, we will simply receive the false value, whatever we provide here in the true and false section. So let's suppose this is the condition we have right now, and if this is equal, then we need the true value, which is order ID. If these both are not equal, then we need the customer ID here. Okay, I will delete this. So we, yeah, like this. So if we simulate it, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we will keep it as it is. So if we test it now, we have received 1, 2, 3, 4 because it is equal to what we have added there in the constant. If the condition is not equal, then we should receive the customer ID. Yes, it's working fine. So after if we have ifs, so this is similar to if. The only difference is it expects a string value in the input, and it provides a string value in the output as well. So this is equals number. In Instead of this, we can try equals string here. Okay, this is the one. Rest everything is same. Okay, so we will skip it. Now we have if without else. Okay, it is similar to if. The only difference is we don't have else value here. What it will do is if the condition uh, match, it will provide a true value. If the condition doesn't match, it will do nothing. Okay, so let's test this. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the condition was true. So that's why we have received this value. If the condition was false, okay, it requires a value. That's why we have received an error. Yeah, as you can see, the minimum occurrence is 1. Okay, if here we have 0 to 1, which means minimum occurrence is 0, that means that field is not mandatory. Okay. What we can do is we can make this field as non-mandatory and then test it again. Okay. So let's go into this XHD and write here as minimum occurrence equals to 0 like this. Okay. Save. As you can see, we have updated this field here. So if we test this again, okay, all the into decimal. Okay, yeah, we have uh, given here equals number. That's why that was failed. We should not provide a string value. Okay. So as you can see, order ID doesn't populate here. It started with order date. If we are using equal number, we cannot provide a alphabetical value inside this function here. Okay. So it will throw us a error. For safe side, we can use equal string in case of equals number because equals string, which is this, we can provide any string, boolean, or integer number into this function. So it is safe to use equal string in case of every equals function if you don't want any error in case of message mapping. Okay. So after if without else, we have if without else. This is similar to if without else. The only difference is it expects a string value in the input and provides a string value in the output as well. So we will simply skip that part. After that, we have IsNil function. Okay. So if we move our cursor here and see its description, we can see that it states the isNil function returns true value if the argument is the special value for XSI nil. Otherwise, it will give us a false value. Now, what exactly XSI nil is that when the target system needs a field, but at the same time, the field needs to be null. Okay. This XSI nil is used when you provide a XML structure, and inside that XML structure, there is any node, a particular node. Inside that we have XSI nil, which is true. So in short, it is used in when a target system want the field to be exist, but at the same time it should be empty. So this IsNil function uh, is used in message mapping to check if there is any particular nodes which contains XSI nil and that XSI nil is true or not. Okay. So if we go and check it in Google, you can see its syntax. First, we have this element name, and then we have to provide XSI nil equals to true here, and we need to close the element. Okay. So in our case, we don't have any XSI nil. Okay. So it should give us a false value. So if we test it, okay, it's giving us errors because we have, I guess, yeah, we have again maintained it as a mandatory. Okay, so we are using if without else. We have to delete it and use isNil. Okay, let's order ID. Yeah. So now if we okay, I came out by mistakenly. Yeah. If we simulate it now and test it, we can see we have received a false value. Okay. So this is how it works. Yeah. Yes. So this was all about Boolean function. In next session, we will see the constants. Okay. Thank you.